it's Keleas. Great to see everybody. I'm just setting up to go live with you all. I hope you're having a fantastic day and you're ready to play with some flowers. We were playing with flowers earlier this morning in design school, and we had an epic volleyball game with Kaya and the kiddos today. It was really fun. So now it's our turn to work together and make something beautiful. So come on in and definitely say hello. I'm going to pull up your comments and see who's here. And then we're going to start to have a good time. I'm grabbing your Facebook comments and your TikTok comments. I should be able to see both here. So let's get going. You guys may not realize, but design school is open. It just opens up twice a year for new students. So this is the time you get in for all of the fall and Christmas and New Year's. And that's what we're doing right now. We have started moving on to Christmas. So last night, if you saw our live, we worked with an 18-inch smaller wreath base, and we're going to do one tonight for a wreath. We're going to use a completely different color scheme. Let me get your comments up though. For some reason, they're not automatically coming up here. Let's see ya. Where's everybody? I'm looking for my live and it's not popping up. I saw a notification pop up, but there we go. All right, yay, hey Melissa, hi Pat, hi Trudy, hi Teresa, hey Stacy. Oh, you're on the treadmill. Good for you, Stacy. Tread it out. Hi Cynthia. Good to see everybody. Well, if you're a design school student already, we were live in there early this morning. And this was this week's tutorial. If you haven't caught it yet, it is a really super beautiful arrangement we made. And then today we made a swag. So it's not this swag, but it's a different swag. So go check that out if you're already a design school student. And if you're not, we want to welcome you. This is kind of a sneak peek behind what we do in class. And I'll be doing several videos over the next few days. You can kind of get like behind the curtain peek. Okay, so let's have some fun. I'm going to start off by kind of greening out our base. We're going to work with an 18-inch smaller grapevine. That's actually, it's not a grapevine, it's a pine Christmas vase. And we're going to make this piece to go with our centerpiece over here. Okay, so let me start by breaking this bush down. This is a pine in a beautiful champagne, gorgeous glittery color. I love that. Y'all, we just sent out a notification to everybody to let them know we're live on our Discord server. So if you're not a member of that yet and you want to be one, just text us the word bloom to 832-734-5201. It'll send you information about the design school, and you can also get on our list. Okay, let's start off with one of these. We're going to put this in first and get this going. So I hope your week is starting off. It's just Tuesday, but hopefully it's starting off amazing. And you're ready to play with flowers, of course. So let's get the party started. Y'all, I did not have any gold outfits. I had to go with red. Just go with red. So we're going to start placing these in. I'm going to have to bring some more glue from the warehouse. We are running low on the glue pot, which is going to make me kind of slow in designing, but that's all right. So I'm going to not only glue those in, but grab them a little bit with the wreath base as we're going around. So I'm just going to start to add this color to the background. Has everyone been decorating for fall in your homes and getting everything looking snazzy, or have you even had time yet? How's your temperatures? Because I got to tell y'all what happened today in ours here locally. I'm in Houston, guys. If you've never been here before, I live in Houston. So think hot and humid. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Pat. Oh, anybody else hot as can be? The car today, guys, I'm not kidding you. It read 125 when we got into it. Now, I have never seen the car read that high. I thought it was bizarre. Richard said take a picture. So I got the camera out to take a picture. By the time I took a picture, it said 119. It was so hot in that car, which I know it's normally hot in there, but man, it's usually not that crazy. 90 all week in Keleas. Yes. Genevieve, we still have community for texting, but because the cost has gone up so much, we use a Discord server. So when you text us, we send you the information to get on our server. So sometimes I will send texts, but I can't do it as much just because it's so expensive. So I have to cut back. And that says it's not hot in San Mateo, and that is making us jealous again. We're jealous. Well, I mean, somebody needs to remind Mother Earth that it is not August. That is August kind of weather. We're generally expecting this heat in August, not in September. I know, crazy, crazy hot. Crazy hot. So I'm kind of working on the exterior of the design. I've got some smaller pieces we're using towards the interior. And we're going to start to use a zigzag technique. And it's a technique I use and teach. You guys, I'm sorry if I'm a little bit draggy. I think the allergies got me. I was gung-ho earlier, and all of a sudden they just got me. But I am here, and I'm happy to be here. But I may not be as teachy as normal because I'm a little bit like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? So what we do is we zigzag, and that kind of gives us a nice flow when we're bringing in a texture to the perimeter of a design. So I'm making this to go with this gorgeous magnolia arrangement. So I want to add in those that type of movement to this piece, okay? So I'm going to go outside with the bigger piece, inside with the smaller piece, until I get filled in all the way around and get even distribution, all right? Janet says it's hot in Oklahoma. You broke the record in Memphis. See? Genevieve, you heard about the community price increase. Yeah, it's just cray-cray, Genevieve. It's cray-cray. But it's all right. You got to deal with what comes at you. This is business. There's always something coming at you in business. So if you own your own business or you have been in any kind of business, things change. You got to evolve and move, and we can pout and complain all we want about it. But the fact is, I've got to figure out alternatives. Because you guys like the texting, don't you? So Christina says it's 30s at night, 50s and 60s during the day in Colorado. Okay, Christina, 50s, I'm out. I'll keep it right here. I'm good. 124 today was fine. I hate it cold. I really hate it cold. Oh my gosh. Y'all, Kaya did not have the greatest game tonight. So she is super hard on herself. I wonder where she gets that from. Sounds a lot like her mother. She was a little bit off, but you know, in the third game, we're talking volleyball, she came in and did her job really well and just overcome her errors that she had made previously. So I was very proud of her. Now, needless to say, she was hot and bothered in the car. She was pissed. But that's my daughter. She's super competitive, and she's still trying to process how to deal with the ups and downs of you're not always going to be 100%. You can try your darndest, but you're not always going to be 100. Y'all know. Hey, Ellen. I'm glad you're here, too. Hey, Kim. Hey, Colleen. All right, still working between. Still working between. I'm still spreading out because I want to get this in the background. The reason I want this beautiful pewter color in the background is because I want it to set kind of the tone of what's going on here. Yeah, we've got green, but we're going to be using a couple of different textures to kind of work on the perimeter. So let me step back and see how we're doing and how everything's looking. Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. Now, you'll notice when I picked a direction flow, I stuck with it. I'll generally go clockwise. If you want to go counterclockwise, that's fine. You just need to pick it and stay with it. Don't be trying to crisscross. Crisscross will make you jump. People won't buy that jump. Keep it real with the flow. Go with the flow. Okay, we got a few left. I'm gonna hold those off for a little bit, and we'll move on to our next texture. Okay, so pretty. Our next texture, we're gonna mix some different colors. And this is going to be a little bit different gold. It's more of a rose gold. Not quite too pinky, but it's got a little bit different pop. But the nice thing is when you mix champagnes, rose golds, pewters, if they're pretty similar and nobody's too brassy, they just usually mix really pretty. Audra says it's 58 in Vermont. Oh my gosh, Audra, that's cold. That's cold. I'm married to a Canadian, and the first thing I had to tell him is, no, we're never living in Canada. Poor thing, broke his heart probably. Stacy did a long needle pine wreath today. It was not easy, right? Long needle pine is a lot. It is a lot, but it turns out so pretty, Stacy. So I'm sure it's gorgeous. Christina lived in the mama sportsman life with her son. Now you have a 13-year-old grandson. You have to get back on the bleachers. Yes. Man, we're super competitive. I'm out yelling from the sideline, Hey, I was a coach, guys. I coached volleyball, I coached softball. I did all that stuff. PE teacher, that's what I did. So it's not a far stretch. I mean, I'm still a teacher to you guys today. Those of you watch our videos. It's real easy for me to jump right back in that role. But I have to realize I'm not in charge on that court. I am a parent. Just calm down, Mama. Calm down. They're 13, right? Hey, Maria. Glad you're here checking in from New Jersey. Okay, got 6 pieces of this. So that's 2 of these sprays. And you guys, a lot of these products you see tonight will be on our live sale. After this video, we'll have a second video. And our live sale tonight is all about frosted, icy, gilded Christmas. Thanks creams and whites, flocking, all that beautiful stuff. That'll be on our live sale this evening, which will be after this video. But it's going to take me a little while to get this going, but we're going to get it going. All right, let's do this. Next layer coming in. So one of the things I teach in design school, and you guys, if you're interested in joining our class, you're going to text us the word bloom, and we'll send you the link to sign up for it. 832-734-5201. One of the things I teach in there is layers in depth and dimension. And you've probably heard me say that before if you've been around here at any time. And we've got to totally take and we got to separate our pieces every time we're using them. So you're paying good money for floral supplies. These are high quality. These are nice pieces. So don't leave them all clumped up. Don't leave them just pointing a weird direction. Make sure you're utilizing them and utilizing all the gorgeous wires in there. It's real important. Okay, so I'm just shifting my piece around mainly so I can work in one quadrant of the wreath and keep shifting it. If you're making it at home, you can stand right in front of it and work from the front. You don't have to flip it around like I'm doing. Audra's loving the gold. Hello, Miss Lady. Good to see you. Lori says she loves our supplies. How you guys doing on TikTok over here? Y'all doing okay? You look like you're doing. Thanks for the follows. I see a lot of follows. Gracias. Lori, thank you so much. I'm glad you love our supplies. I really work hard to try to, of course, find you trendy items, but also find you things that are different than the big box stores, so you feel like you're kind of on the cutting edge with your designs and you're in style. Even if you choose to do something different, you're aware of the style. If you're in our class, you're aware of the more trending pieces, so you're not lost, you're not behind. When it comes to Christmas, we can do so many classic things. A lot of trends don't really go out. They just kind of ebb and flow, and what's a little more popular and what's less popular. And that really depends on the parts of the country you're in. So you'll notice that depending on the regions and what's popular and what's not. So when I said we're layering this in, we're putting this kind of in this mid zone. These went on the outsides, and now this I'm having run in the middle. Jody just comes in and says you should join Keleas Design School. She's the best. Her way of teaching is amazing, and you learn so much. Thank you, Jody. Jody's coming in hot. I love it. Thank you, Jody. I'm feeling kind of crummy tonight, so I'm going through the motions, but I appreciate Jody and other students here are watching telling everybody. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. All right. This is my third video today, y'all, and I've still got one more to go. I've been a mama, and I've run a business all day, run employees, and I'm just feeling a little kind of crummy, and I know it's allergies. Okay. So I put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got like a little bit bigger gap here. Let's put this one in here. What's in the black bowl? So Julia, this is an electric skillet, okay? If anybody has that question, it's a small one. And it's hot glue. So I don't use a glue gun, okay? I don't pull any triggers. I had 2 surgeries when I was younger, making thousands of things and cutting and cutting. And so I don't pull triggers on guns, and I don't, this is the only thing I cut with. I don't do a whole lot of hand cutting anymore. I love my electric skillet for hot glue. I put the electric, the glue sticks we sell, I just put them right in there and go to town. I don't even cut them up. Okay. So these are nicely filled in all the way around, okay? And I've got that pretty sparkle to the outside. Looking good. So far, so good. Now, I am going to use a different pine here to fill in. Karen says, every time I put chemicals on my hair, I would get sick. Well, that's been like 6 days now. I don't think, Karen, it would be today. I would have thought I would have already gotten sick. I think it's allergies. You're flying again, Brenda? You're in Alabama. Well, have a good night, overnight there, and be safe. Travel. Brenda's in design school, and we are wishing her safe travels. She's a flight attendant. Okay, so this is a pine. The reason I'm bringing this piece in, this is something else I talk about in design school. This is not solid glitter. It shows the pine stem, but then the tips have this gorgeous glitter, and it almost gives this ombre feel to it. The reason that works so good in this piece is because we have the green in the background. So this green is going to transition so well between there and this gold. It's juicy, it's good. This is what we love. So I'm going to take and shred this one, and we'll start putting it in. Diana says, Keleas Design School is so worth every penny. You'll not be disappointed. Love, love. Thank you, Diana. You are so sweet. You guys, if you're watching on YouTube or on well, we're not on Instagram right now. We will be in a little bit, but where are we? We're on YouTube, and we are on TikTok. If you're watching over there, you might not see all the comments. My biggest audience is on Facebook, and they love to chat, so we're chatting it up there. But if you don't believe and you think I'm making stuff up, you can come and read the comments on Facebook. They will still be there. Okay, I'm going to separate this into smaller pieces. Julia loves the idea about the glue skillet. Yes, this is kind of the small one I use for videos. When I'm in big production mode, like when we're making multiple pieces to sell in our Etsy store and we're really rocking it out, I prefer more of a regular size you use for cooking, like a big one. Okay, we're breaking this down into these small pieces. I'm going to start with one stem. I got to break a little bit more, and then we'll put them in. Now, these were also in our centerpiece that was in design school this week, so that's going to tie these two pieces really great together. Okay, and let's cut these all down. Karen says, I've been with Klee for the last 2 years. She says, amazing. Thank you, Karen. Oh my gosh. Ellen welcomes you to Alabama, Brenda. Brenda says you lost your mojo for work. You'll get it back. You'll get it back. I'm sure you're just tired. That's a lot. Your job is hard work. You've been struggling with allergies the last 2 weeks, right? I think that's all it is. Poor Kyle was doing it last week. Hey, I worked all my cutters up to here. Oh my gosh. Deb says, I love being able to watch videos when I miss the lives. Oh, good, good. Yes, you guys who might be considering joining our class, everything is recorded. So our lives occur, I mean, unless I just pop in for a live, the live videos are on Tuesday mornings, but everything is totally recorded. So if you miss something, you can go back to it. If you want to fast forward it and then come back and watch it, you can do that. And then we have a whole website dedicated to design school. And in there is straight up hardcore instruction. That sounded weird at first. Like we're not chatting. Like today, right now we're chatting, we're having fun. But when I'm doing instructional videos, they may be me acting a fool if I'm falling down or something. But I don't do that too often, just during workshops and challenges. But what I'm trying to say is they're instructional, and they are basically me teaching. And those are segmented videos. So the cool part of that is, like on the swag in the corner, you know, we'll make the here on TikTok, you can't see the swag. Here's the swag right there. You see that swag? So the swag over here, we cover that in floral placement, the background placement, the bows were each their own videos. That way, basically, you can use Design School kind of like a recipe builder. And if you just want to make the bows from this, and you want to put them on a completely different project in the spring, but you're like, those are kind of a hybrid funky bow, I want to know how to make those, you just go to that video and go to the bow video. You don't have to find that section in the video. It's already separated out for you, and makes it, I just try to make it so easy. And that really helps you if you're a beginner or more advanced, because if you're more advanced, you don't want to waste time watching the whole video for one little thing. You might even be like, how the heck did she get that pumpkin to float in the middle of the wreath? You just want to go find that part out. Stuff like that. So the segmented videos really helps. Okay, these are going right now in the midline also. They're kind of going right beside each one of these pieces I put in. That's how we're going to start, by placing them in, okay? Sharon's having allergies. Keleas having allergies. Aw. Good evening, Sharon. Hey, Mary. Stacy says, Keleas an awesome teacher. She breaks it down so easily to follow and learn. No one else teaches like her. I've learned so much in the past 3 years. Thank you, Stacy. I am so blessed to have Stacy. Stacy is a cancer survivor and a really tough broad, and she has been in design school for quite a while. And we have been through her life, and whether she wanted us in it or not, we praying for her and caring about her, as well as so many other students in our course. It's a blessing to get to know everyone and support them on their journey to whatever that is, their life, their family, their children, their grandchildren, all that. We're just a community of really great people who happen to love to decorate in floral design. And another thing in our community is we're like drama free. If you are a person who craves drama and that type of thing, we're probably not the community for you, because if you come in and you cause a lot of drama, we just refund your money and tell you goodbye. So that hasn't happened a whole lot, but I just want to make sure you know that we have fun and we're not about the drama. No drama. All right, so I've got one here, there. We need one here. We're going to put one next to every piece of that pine. It's not really pine, it's the rose gold pieces we already put in. And I'm usually a lot more fired up and kicking booty, but this is what you got tonight, and that's okay. Some days, oh my gosh, this is making it so nice and full. Look at that. I don't know if you can tell really. Let me show you how pretty. And I started with one of these inexpensive wreath bases. These are not expensive. They're nice because they're not 24 inches. And most pre-made green bases are 24s, and that's a little big. Karen says, I need to pick a name for a business. I'm scared to death. I want to make sure I get something simple but good. What website do you check to ensure the name is not used? So there is something called Name Checker, and that will help you check all the social medias, because it's not just website, you also have to check all the social medias, because that's an important part of having your own business. So what you're going to want to do, it's namechecker.com, go check it there. And then as far as the website, I usually buy my websites on GoDaddy, but you can buy them wherever you want. And that's where you're going to buy your website, and you'll search there and it'll tell you if it's gone or available or not, right? And you can buy it right then. Okay. Teresa loves design school. She does primarily deco wreaths, but I'm inspired to do better evergreens and centerpieces. You're working on a fall mailbox swag for a customer? Nice, Teresa. Lovely. You're going to have to share it with us when you're done. Oh, thanks, Tracy. Thank you, Nancy. Okay, I'm tearing down this next one and bringing it to smaller pieces. Hi, Keleas. That wreath on the wall is beautiful. Thank you. Kimberly, this one right here, we did live in design school. And it coordinates with the centerpiece. It's just a little more twiggy. We're making this tonight to go with this latest centerpiece in design school. We also have a wreath we already made. We call it, I think we called it Classic Christmas, something like that. And that's already in the design school portal. We're ready to go. Because we've already been doing Christmas for a few weeks in design school. And we started fall way back in June. I try to stay ahead so you have plenty of time to be shopping for your supplies, finding what you need and what you want to work with, and kind of getting you inspired for the next season. There's never any pressure on you to purchase from us supplies. You can get your supplies anywhere you want, but we do provide discount codes for design school students. And we even have a bigger discount if you buy in higher volume. So that's pretty fun. And those codes do work on any of our websites. So later when we're having our live sale, you'll hear me say, design school students, don't forget to use your discount coupons. That's what we're talking about. Hi, Carol. Stacy says the lack of drama is why you're still in design school. Nice. Nice. You're welcome. I am trimming these down a little smaller, guys. Thanks for being here. I see lots of KDS members here supporting always. Y'all are so good to me. All right, let's keep bringing them in and putting these next to the others. Yeah, I can't wait for y'all to see the whole collection I put together on a live sale. So when you go to Keleas.com, you'll find all the, you'll find tons of gorgeous florals, of course. And when you come to a live sale, what I've done is I put collections together. And instead of just having live sales on Wednesdays, what we're now doing is we're having small live sales throughout the week. So they're not as big and as long. They're just small sections of things that go together. And we're kind of experimenting with that and seeing how that works. And it seems to work well as far as you don't get too overwhelmed with different products when we're presenting it. Okay, this is looking beautiful and full. Now I'm going to pull some of these pine pieces. I kind of had flattened it. I'm going to pull those in a little. And then we're going to be using some magnolias on here. I'm going to use the same gorgeous cream magnolias that we used in our class design this week. Put you right here. Get in there, buddy. Get up in there. Beautiful. And let's put one more here. And then I'm going to hold off on putting any more till we get to our final touches. I like to save a little bit to the end, which is something I normally do because I just want to make sure wherever we have a hole or we need to make a small adjustment, we haven't used it all, right? Okay, look how pretty and full that is. Awesome. I am a hard-working woman. Wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, time for our magnolias. Now I've just picked a classic magnolia here. We're going to use 3 of them. And we're going to separate these out in the design. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get the tags off. And then we're going to start to fluff them. Oh my goodness. Nancy's here. Hello, Nancy. Hi, Kathy. And Karen. Okay. So on these type of flowers, they come shipped to you flat like this, but they're pretty cool because every petal has a wire in the back. And I love that because I love to be able to manipulate florals, twigs, anything that's wired. You see how pretty I can make that bloom. Isn't that gorgeous? Diane, so for ordering moss, she says, I need to order some moss, but I'm not sure what color. So I like for fall, this is chartreuse. I like this. If you are working with a lot of pine bases, then go ahead and switch to the dark green. The dark green looks great in the spring also. So those are my two go-to colors right now. And then light green, you can use it for fall also and for spring. But I would just go with chartreuse and then transition to the dark green. Light green's similar to chartreuse, just a little bit more naturally looking. So I'm going to open up all of these. Donna, I'm glad you're loving it. And let's just start to pop these in and get our placement right. I'm not going to cut. I'm not going to glue yet. We're going to work on our placement. So let's just put one up here at about, if this is 12 o'clock, just a little bit right too. Let's go right there. We're putting one in. We're going to adjust. So it's at like 1 o'clock. You love the white? Yeah. The white is so classic. It always sells. There's just people who love their Christmas to be just kind of sparkly, goldy, pewtery, glittery, and they don't add a lot of color. So there's always a demand for this. And when these are going in, remember, they're going with the flow that we've already created. I'm not going to go back against that. If you do, it creates confusion and it makes your design look messy. The same reason we have to fluff out these petals. If we don't take the time to do this, our design would look not finished, not professional. And if you want to sell your pieces, all those little details matter in the bottom line of what you're charging, okay? I hate to see really great designers undercharging for their work, and it's something I see a lot. And, you know, you guys, you can't just make this stuff and just barely mark it up. You can't do that. Will I be getting any more of the red and green jingle bells? Carol, I know we have solid red coming back in stock with snow on it. I don't know if there's any more red and green coming, but we will be on the lookout, okay, Carol? Okay, let's take a look at the angles on these heads. So I'm stepping back from the design. I'm looking at it. I don't like the angle of this one. It's too, needs to come forward more. There we go. Let me see. Let's see how that looks. I'm trying to find my camera here. Okay, I want this one. I like this one. I need to bring this one over just a little bit more. So what I'm trying to do is make these into their own little triangle here that's this way, okay? So I get nice, even spacing on this design. Once I'm ready, then I can cut and glue them in. You don't want to cut that stem too long because you still want to be able to manipulate the head once we get it glued in. So I'm going to pull this out and we'll just take like about 3 inches off the end. Are magnolias mostly a southern flower? You don't see them as much as in Minnesota. I would say yes, they are. They're used really a lot in the South. Another great substitution could be a beautiful snowy peony. We have a solid white peony tonight on the live sale, and we've got a gorgeous snowy hydrangea. So any of that, obviously, magnolias don't bloom in the winter. This is not a proper flower for the season, but we don't care. We just want it to be beautiful, gilded. This is made of a beautiful velvet that's shiny on there. So all of that just makes it so pretty. So you notice when I'm putting this one in, it's also going with the flow. So there's a lot of detail involved. We're not just shoving it in and calling it a day. We're thinking about our placement when we're putting it in. Because I want your work to stand out from everybody else's, guys. Okay. I'm going to go into the pine here, and then I'm just going to bring that up. And then we're just going to make sure this one splits that and makes the peak of our triangle. Don't worry, you can manipulate it and move the angles a little bit as much as you need to. Now I'm going to put this one in. All right. Okay. Let's put this one in the top. And you'll notice this particular design does not have a bow. And it's okay to do designs without bows. I call them no bows. And there is a lot of demand in the younger generation and different parts of the country. They don't like ribbon, or it's just not trending. And then there's other parts of the country where they would just be like, what do you mean no ribbon? So it just depends where you're located and what is popular. Oh, this is a little too far over. I gotta redo it, guys. In your area, but in this one, we're gonna go no bow. And that's the fun part. You could add a bow, and if I were adding a bow, I'd shift this magnolia down, and I'd probably put the bow right into here. I'm gonna try to get this one down a little bit more. There you go, that's better. And it's okay to just adjust these until you get it right. If you have to yank it out, yank it out. And I want that head to kind of turn out just a little bit like that. Okay, so I like this where it's going to hang just like this. I think the placement's good. I'm happy. Now I'm going to use my remaining pine and my beautiful pewter stems to fill in any holes. I got a hole right there I'm going to work on. Okay. So I'm trying not to cut the last bush and just work with what I've got. So let's put this one in first right here. And I'll work it kind of coming out. So this is what I'm talking about, filling in holes. When you're doing an all-around design, you're going to have a couple of holes where you kind of didn't get the spacing exactly right, and that's okay. You can fix them. Let's come out here. And that's why I keep a couple of pieces from our background here to the end, because we could just pop them in. All right. And then I'm going to use this one kind of coming down up there towards the middle. So who's coming to the live sale after this? I'm going to have more of this type of collections. Creams, whites, flocking glitter, and ribbon to coordinate also. What would I charge for a wreath like this? So I would start off with taking my supplies and multiplying by 3. That's where I would start. Then I would see how that compares with the majority of my other pieces, and I would go up from there. But we'll have a completed supply list for you guys, so you can take a look at exactly what we used, and you can make your own just like this, whether you want to sell it or you want to just have it for yourself in your own home. Maybe you want to recreate it with a completely different color scheme. And these are 3 big Christmas balls. And all of this is gorgeous pine. Maybe some fun candy canes just working their way around. There's so many different ways you can take this design and rock and roll with it. I had you at Flocked. Yeah, you're coming to the live sale. Fantastic. So if you're watching on YouTube or TikTok, you're going to want to come and join us on our Facebook or Instagram pages to shop live. That's Keleas Florals on Instagram, Keleas on Facebook, K-E-L-E-A-S. So you guys on TikTok? Keleas, K-E-L-E-A-S. Okay? If you are on Facebook watching right now, this video is going to go off and we'll come back with another one. Okay? And there'll be the overlay on the screen, and we'll get rocking and rolling with all fun Christmas live sale tonight, okay? Or if you're ready, come join us over there, and I'll see you in just a few minutes on our Facebook and Instagram pages. All right, bye, Bloom Merinos, and if you want to join Design School, just text us the word Bloom, 832-734-5201. All right, bye, guys.